Hello! Welcome to this new series that me and my friends are going to be trying out that will be called Ninjutsu Negotiations. And in this series, we will discuss essentially what we want to be changed, be it nerfs, buffs, or just overall quality of life stuff. And it can be from moves, past characters, or just straight up passives. Because this game is pretty good actually. It has its problems like every other game, but it's fun. It just needs to be fixed a little. Please ignore the animatronic behind me though. Joining me here are my friends Ichengo,
Wop.
Nike,
Whopper, Whopper, chicken Whopper.
and Robert Love.
Yeah. Robot is fine. Either works.
We will be uploading this ideally once a week every Friday morning. So if you do enjoy this, please make sure to keep watching it. So for the first episode, we're going to be talking about general changes. So nothing too specific, just the general activity of the game itself. So class types, the cast characters, and the blocking mechanics and the like. I'll let Nike here go first.
Well, as the range man of the group, ignore the name, but as the range man of the group, I think all melee attacks from range should be reworked, like basic melee, not ninjutsus. For example, Orochimaru Square combo should be replaced with poison kunai or him just throwing snakes at you, or Itachi throwing Mataratsu or fireball kunais at you.
Wait, wouldn't it be
That
better?
combo.
Wouldn't it be a bit better if Orochimaru's basic, his slight basic, would just it would still be ranged, but if people get too close to you, he just starts like snakes start coming out of his sleeves, like in that like his fight with Naruto.
True, but the true that would be range, but it wouldn't support far range. Like Orochimaru had one of the best long range jutsu with infinite range, pretty much.
He does, but this is like to keep people away from you, right? So
Yeah, but that's
if
what
you're
the
at
snake your hand is for.
I don't know, but if you're at a fair enough distance and they get a bit too close, you can just use the light and then lead into striking shadow snakes, and then go into his triangle to keep them off you.
True,
Almost a bit like how the water guns work with their triangle, but I guess with more steps.
true, but this would support like Orochimaru's like fighting side add like poison variety into his combos.
I suppose we
Because
also have to buff poison as a whole because poison sucks in this game.
yeah, I think poison actually good where at. Only problem with you, it just need a extended duration.
I honestly think
Make it
I think it should just like lower your defense or something, not
No,
just do
no, no.
DOT.
We got Matarazzi instead of just being a reskin version of Matarazzi.
No. I'm not suggesting a DOT with defense. I'm just suggesting they remove the DOT and add in a defense down for the poison, because poison would essentially lower your effectiveness in a fight,
Yes,
or
yes, but
maybe
we
movement slow
already
down.
got defense down. Like lightning net, paper shield. This would be different.
Fair
In
enough.
if they rework poison to be like you once you get hit with poison, it lasts for like a minute or
I suppose.
longer.
Yeah, I suppose. I also do agree with the whole we should make range types be actually ranged. I know most of the community will never agree with us on this, but the fun thing about range types is they're supposed to be fighting from a distance, not in your face. And it's really weird that they gave the CACs melee combos.
Why does Majestic have super armor?
I actually am okay with this. Though moving on, I think we've reached our point for this. My change that I would like for this would be the block mechanic and the sub mechanics being reworked. Uh, for those who don't play the game, subs recently got a buff, and the most broken sub in the entire game, Time Space Off, got a nerf to make it so you're only invulnerable for about 3 seconds now. The problem I have is that most of these subs, most of the subs do not keep you safe, and many with the DLC we have now, in many cases you can actually be punished for using your lifeline, especially if you're fighting an attack type because they can move faster than you can block. I think that we should either nerf the attack types' movement speeds, or increase the downtime for blocking, or just give every substitution a iframe mechanic. So if you sub, you are invulnerable for at least 2 seconds, regardless of what your substitution is.
Hmm.
What say you?
I'd personally just say 1.
Honestly, I don't agree with that.
Fair enough. Why not?
Granted, attack type will have to cancel all of this stuff to catch you half the time. What I would prefer for the sub, especially multi shadow clone jutsu, just make them have different buffs for the user. Like for example, multi shadow clone leave like a shadow clone the battlefield for 5 seconds that attack your opponent like a CPU or a Zetsu.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so good.
Like the one that spawned in front of you, not the one that charged with the rest of them.
Honestly, that would make some sense. I honestly don't get why the clones don't actually do anything. It's just we charge at you, but we do nothing.
The explosive clone and clay clone are one of the best clones in my opinion.
Oh, they
And
Um,
shadow
definitely is.
clone.
Going back to multi-shadow clone, they essentially abuse this game's kind of gimmicky lock-on mechanic, and they kind of get in your way of immediately re-locking onto the person subbing.
That does depend on your positioning from the person subbing.
It does.
If they're too far, you can immediately lock onto them through the clones because
Yeah.
like because for instance they might be on to your left and clones are to your right, which kind of defeats the purpose. Hence why I think there should be something else keeping you safe,
Yeah.
especially the substitutions that don't have subs. In my most recent video, I was fighting a Obito player while on low HP. He subbed from me, and I immediately got him to another combo. Granted, I still died because my combo dropped, but the fact that I could still get him through his lifeline and almost kill him is a problem.
And there was also the fact that actually earlier today I was playing Hero Festival, a last battle Naruto subbed for me while I was on the new Obito that came out recently, and I instinctively did the laser beam because I was really desperate trying to kill him as fast as physically possible before the time ran out, and I just laser beamed him through his clones. I said, "Screw it."
Yeah, that's so dumb.
And going to a brief subject on this though that relates to this though. For substitutions, I say that the user should allow for better control over the position they end up in when they use the sub. Honestly.
Oh yeah, that too. Because there are so many issues with subs just keeping you in place as well. Um, Another part of the issue is the fact that the substitution seems to prefer to prioritize who hit you most recently, which is also a problem because if I get hit by Jeffrey on the other side of the map because he wanted to hit me with water dragon while I was fighting Lee Ferrison as an attack type on the other side of the map, I end up subbing behind Jeffrey, and now that attack type gets to move free for the next 2 minutes as I try to catch him again. Another issue is that if I am locked onto someone and I sub from them, I should just sub behind them. I feel like that should be I feel like the person you are closest to, or the person you are locked onto when you sub, should be the person you sub next to, and you should by default just sub behind them. If they're gonna make it randomized, you should at least just sub behind the person you are locked onto.
Hmm. I was about to say that you should instead just be able to sub within the vicinity of where you currently are, but I actually kind of like your idea as well.
I mean, the general vicinity could also be a problem because the point is you want to escape. You need something of breathing room too. So when I say behind, I mean like at least like I don't know 5 or 8 inches. So let's say I say that because of this. If they use an ult right as you sub, and you're gonna be right behind them, then well sucks to be you. You got hit by the ult. I don't know what to tell you. But if you're sub about at least a few inches behind them, then you're safe. Usually, possibly. That's like That is like, especially with the Obito DLC, that becomes a huge issue if you're not using a substitution that makes you invulnerable, which is most of them. You have subbed. Congratulations, you are still in that beam, and you are still being juggled because you can't block it.
Maybe as a mechanic, you can have the option to double tap the sub button, and then which will put you in like a very brief window where you can flick your movement stick to choose the position you go in.
So like,
or just touch it once to use the subsystem we have now.
So basically, a mechanic to make the sub act a bit like Sneaky Strike from Xenoverse.
In a sense, I was thinking more like Instant Rise from Xenoverse.
That also works. I actually would enjoy that.
Oh yeah. This race does give you the perfect amount of iframes to get out of stuff.
As long as you're
more so on the whole positioning.
Yeah.
Controlling positioning. And on the subject of blocks, I think that the guard frames when you hold the block button though should be frame run regardless across the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so many times I blocked, but then like the game wants to be like, "Oh no, you're not." I'm like, "Bro."
Yeah, that's part of the reason
I was holding block before he even attacked me. I should be blocking this, but I guess I'll just stick in this guy's combo for now. That's cool too.
Oh my gosh, the attack types all the time with Obo. I'm too fast for your guard there, friend.
See.
And guard right should be on frame 1 for healers.
Speaking of which, going into class passives, what do you guys think about that? I personally beyond. Let's stay away from the easy one of attack type substitute. Let's stay away from that for now.
Right.
Range type should have a more incentive to be at range. Like farther away you from your lock on opponent, the more damage you do.
Shouldn't it be the close? Well, that would defeat the point of range, wouldn't it? It'd be
yeah.
That'd be like giving them a male margin passive.
But they make it so they divide their health in half also to make it more balanced. Make them the squishiest class.
Yeah. I mean, they are supposed to be.
Right.
Oh, that's attack types, aren't they? I'm done. I'm sorry.
But,
for heal types, I thought you were done.
I was saying like this one was because right now they're too comparable to heal types in defense to a point where they either even or a heal type a little bit weaker.
Are you sure about that? Because heal types seem to be on par with defense types in terms of their tankiness now.
No buffs.
But that with buffs.
I suppose. Yeah, I can see what you mean there. Speaking of heal types, I know I'm not going. I think that the heal types should either have faster triangles, base game heal types, not the yes, we have new weapons for you that you can now combo, even though that should have been a thing from the base game. Also, if maybe some part of their basic, like they have a passive with one of their jutsus that will make it so that they can shave off ult charge. One specific jutsu. I don't know what that jutsu could be. My personal pick would be Byakugan, but I don't know. I just think that could be a passive, like a hidden activated passive for them. Maybe I'm biased because I'm the healer main here.
What if you they made it so that if you hit the heavy attack on a guard broken opponent, you would also get an additional benefit for doing so, such as like maybe from perhaps extra damage and maybe some like regen with a small burst heal for for the healer and nearby teammates.
So if you actually guard break someone, you get benefits. Yes.
Like if you guard break and then you heavy attack them after when they're in the guard broken state.
Oh, I suppose.
Like, just one idea that came to mind. I'm on the spot actually.
I mean, heal types already apparently spam the triangle button as if they're defense types anyway, so why not?
Has something to do with which. sad to say, I mean, that would be sort of viable in some cases, though, if it weren't for that, like, so many weapons have got such a delay, or, certain specific triangles can be, reflected, even though they shouldn't, such as, Sakura's little Naginata spear over there, for example, the first hit of the ground triangle can be deflected, and honestly, that shouldn't be a thing.
It really should not. Also, speaking of defense types, I think that I think their passive is fine as it is, beyond one thing. The fact that the game has slowly been trying to bring in more defense triangles that cannot be reflected. Because when the game first came out, you couldn't just reflect a defense triangle. Like, you could, but there was a specific window when you could do it. Now with more recent defense cast and defense weapons, there's no window for it. If you try to reflect at all, you just lose, I guess we'll call it block charge. If you stand there and block, you get guard broken almost immediately because of how many hits some of these things have. Like, Obito is the biggest contender here because his triangle is not only unreflectable, he can pitfall you with it.
Oh yeah, you'll get slung-shot like a Gmod character if you're not careful.
It's so dumb. Actually, Obito is when it began. Actually, as I think about it, because it was around him that we started seeing this more and more. But his and Double Moon Sword's triangle, the blue one, are the most broken because they both cannot be reflected, and if you do get hit, you're going to die. Especially Double Moon Blue. Oh my gosh, it does too much.
As the biggest contender for defense weapon that I would that as the defense user here is would be perfectly fine seeing that weapon be left in the dust because it's already pampered so much off rip it doesn't need anything else.
No. I mean, like the second best weapon doesn't even come close to it. And for those curious, in my opinion, the second best weapon is the Kazemake sword. Kagemasa?
Kagemasa, yes.
Okay. But yes, that sword is the second best because of one, it also can't be reflected, and two, it actually beats most defense weapons, including Double Moon Sword's armor. If you time it right, anyway. Because it has a 2-hit armor set.
For me, the second best weapon by far is Double Moon Swords. Double Moon Sword. That's an in first place for me.
Fair enough. Okay, so we've gotten every other class out of the way. Let's head towards the elephant, or the raging bull, as we'll call it in the room. The attack type passives. Obviously, a lot of us with brains want that removed.
I miss the days where I could use Asuma knuckle knives, and people would look at me and be like, "He's using a mid-weapon. He's not a threat." Nowadays, people look at me with Asuma knuckle knives, and they're like, "Ah, crap. He's got the most broken weapon in the game. Everyone, focus that motherfucker." Is that a healer?
Yes, exactly.
Pretty much.
I swear the attack types have become like the Catholic Church. It's like when the game first came out, you could essentially it's like the TFS scene. Oh yay, it's attack types with that mid weapon. Now, oh no, it's attack types with that broken weapon.
Meanwhile, range they finally get their one weapon they can actually be ranged with.
Everyone complains.
I look at you, Hidden Rose. Melee range players.
Shade has been thrown.
Shot fired! Shot fired! Literally because of these guns. Shot fire!
Okay, we solved enough. What do you guys want changed beyond Shred removing the sub-seal?
Make it so the higher the combo goes, the more damage they do.
What?
So the natural passives.
Well, like that girl from Seven Deadly Sins.
Yes.
I actually don't mind that. That would actually give a lot more of a lot of the accessories that utilize stuff like that more reason for existing.
Give them something to actually mix up their combos, like a damage boost up to a certain cap. Wouldn't be so bad.
No,
maybe.
You would also be forced to utilize certain things as well, because Imperial Raffle had to fall off the wayside because of that. It wouldn't pop as much unless you're utilizing it with what's it called? Cooling breeze. Because the highest I ever got with cooling breeze while using that was 15 hits. I could get more if I had like let's say Barry Moon Barrage.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is this. Literally earlier, I was talking with another guy who I think is a rangeman. He was saying how the Obito beam, what was it called? True Seeking Scorch. He was saying it should have been a range move. And I was
I say
saying,
no.
okay, well, and I was saying this. Okay, so if that should be a range move, why do you guys have melee moves like freaking Chidori over there? You have like 3 of those things. Give us a couple of them. Y'all
Ask
don't
the
need them.
range man. Ask the range man the truth. If you want my opinion, half the problems in Shinobi could be fixed by a multi-class system, similar to TF2, where you could just carry multiple ninjutsu per class.
So essentially, you're saying that we could fix this problem if we just had multiple jutsus that were just universal.
Yes, like for example, Cherry Blossom class, Heaven for a Pain, and Dome move, add them to defense type for the cloud control. Or subterranean, add them for the heal type because the healing and the Gyara Gel.
That is fair.
Or attack type give them calm we lightning blade or the Chidori moves. And for rain to attack, give rain type wood dragon and vanishing Rasengan. The attack type not using it.
That would also kind of fix the Muller issue at the same time.
Yeah.
Fair, fair point,
also
especially
give-
with Vanishing Rasengan, I must say.
Yeah, you rarely see that. It's such a good move too, but you just don't see it. It can't even be blocked anymore. I think people forget that it can't be blocked no more.
It breaks
And
your
Gil
guard.
Byaku
No, it
gone
doesn't.
to rain site.
No, it doesn't. It used to. They buffed it about 3 updates ago to make it unblockable.
I
Gil
wouldn't know. I don't
Byaku
use
gone
it.
to rain. Gil Byaku gone to rain sites. Also.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
They
I'm
can
not
utilize it the most by seeing opponents through wall. You have stuff like
That's
Byakugan, Water
that's
Dragon,
why I'm not
Chicken
sure how I
Shoulder.
feel about that.
Although to be fair, they can utilize it now anyway with a healer, since this game can't make up what effects it does share to your teammates and doesn't.
And also, very simple, very simple. One thing beyond everything else, Obo Ruma, what I like to call Ooga Booga, need enough.
Definitely.
Yeah. If they're not gonna nerf it, if they do the system, make it that the one move every class has. Because who doesn't have a shuriken?
I think we need to talk about Obo in another video when we're talking about
Yes,
specific jutsus.
Yeah, we should do this. Yeah, we're
Quite
breaking
right.
the rule. We're breaking the rule a little bit here. Okay, for our last topic today, cast characters. For me, I'll go first this time. For me, the one cast character that I want fixed, fixed, is Hinata. If anyone here has watched my birthday video, you will know that Hinata is my favorite fictional character of all time. And in every game I ever played with Naruto, I tried to main Hinata, and this game is no different. Which makes it very hard for me to say Hinata sucks in this game. Her air pump is good. Her Byakugan is meh. Her ultimate is a godsend. But for like the longest time, it would drop on. And if you hit it in the air, it would just drop most of the time. They kind of fixed it, but not really. It still drops sometimes. And the one unforgivable thing is her basic. She cannot lead into almost anything she has unless you're near a wall. She can't lead, she cannot lead into her own ultimate. She can't really lead into her air palm unless you're on the ground while comboing them. And most of the time online, she can't even lead into her own triangles. And she's supposed to be able to lead into her own triangles. I think so what I'm asking for is I think her basic needs to be reworked, essentially.
Yeah.
Maybe just the way that like some of her combos affect the opponent.
Yes, exactly. Like they maybe add in like a a new function. Like she plays like she was meant to be a ranged type actually. Her basic is supposed to knock the opponent away from her, whereas like say Sakura, her basic keeps the opponent near her so she can land Cherry Blossom Clash.
I mean, that could honestly just be how she's supposed to be played, which is meh, but maybe she's supposed to be more defensive. Who knows?
No, she is, but at the same time, she isn't meant to be a ranged character. Like you are supposed to be in your opponent's face with her. Like she does have a ranged tool, but it's meant to help her get in. Because remember, like Hinata is one of the heal types that has nothing to let her get in beyond the air palm. The air palm is meant to make it so the opponent cannot throw out jutsus to keep her at bay, so she can safely dash in while also dodging kunai, and also safely get her ultimate off without someone using a jutsu that can protect them from her ultimate. So she is meant to be used as a close range character, but they gave her range types of basic.
Range type or defense type if you're on base battle.
Well, when I say range type, I mean like it's supposed to keep her basic keeps you away from her, which hurts her. She's supposed to keep you. You want when you're playing a Nazi, you want the opponent as close to you as you can get after you land air palm. That is the problem here. Because the closer they are to you, the more chances you have to land Twin Lion Fist, which is what she most definitely wants to get off because her Byakugan also buffs it.
True. But it does.
When put into light like that, yeah.
And on the subject of cast characters, basically, I've noticed something with like a myriad of casts. A decent handful of them are defense type though, but I've noticed this with some attack type cast characters as well, namely Link mode Naruto as well. That a lot of them cast characters basically attack are like stiff in the sense of how long your recovery time is, or they don't have the proper tracking to follow through with the rest of the combo, such as like if like something were to happen, they knock over to the side. Well, you're stuck in that combo and you're attacking the next to them. Though I'm pretty sure that needs to be adjusted. Though, like adjust the tracking on some of these combos as well.
Or at the very least, maybe so you can just cancel out of them if you're not hitting anything.
Without needing a kunai.
Auto combos, basically. Also, button. What's it called? Like button memory or something like that?
Button mashing?
This game has a lot of that. Like, I can mash a button 5 times in a second, and my character will straight through the entire light combo string.
Yeah, that's.
And I can just like put my controller down after that.
Yeah, that's a big issue with the healer version of the Madara Stab, actually, specifically the triangle. Like you press the triangle button one time, and then it will do the full combo for the healer for the Madara Stab's heavy, even though that's supposed to only happen when you press it twice.
Yeah. Oh, and on the subject on a specific cast character, that needs some fixing that I noticed. All right, this is the most blatant one. Like aside from the aforementioned, the stiff combos that don't properly track, that a lot of characters have. The right Ishiki, right? He's pretty much perfect, though. Right? There's just one blatant thing that's wrong with him, though, he lacks half of his passive as a defense type, which is that his triangle, his heavy attack, doesn't have super armor.
It doesn't?
This is the only thing he's missing. No, it doesn't have super armor.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
I recall you mentioning this, but I didn't really think too much of it, other than that's absurd. But that's absurd still hearing this a second time.
No amount of no attack with any type of piercing needed. Just normal basic can knock him out of his triangle.
That is astounding.
Because the problem is though the armor frames don't activate until the very, very, very end of it.
Yeah,
this is quite dumb for obvious reasons.
Yes. Also, this is
barring that. That's the only thing that's the only thing he really needs. Other than that, he's pretty much perfect. Just like he's the only defense type in the game that, for all intents and purposes, for practicality reasons, doesn't have super armor on his heavy. No. That's my wish for him.
Also, this is going slightly back to the subs, and because this involves not the cast steps as a whole, but most of them, because most of them have this sub. They need to either remove substitution, the basic one, from the game, and replace the cast versions of it with a new one, Shadow Clone, or just make it so you can lock onto the log. Because that log is supposed to be like the godsend of the series. It's, I remember like they thought they killed Kakashi. It was a log. In this game, well, the log might as well not even be there. You're still dying as the log just sits there mocking you, saying, "Oh, you thought I was gonna save you? Nah, I'm just chilling here, man. I'm chilling."
I think the way that should work mechanically, like this, going a little bit in depth and detail with that log, it should have a hitbox, and for the remainder of the entire animation of that hitbox, you are still going to be locked onto it until that log fully disappears.
Like a
Like,
taunt.
no, like how the other subs work.
Okay.
Like, when you sub, they're still locked on to like a clone.
Okay. All right.
Same thing should be for that log. It should just
Yeah.
you should just be locked on for the entire duration of it. Like,
That's
obviously, it's a weaker version of it's a weaker version of Shadow Clone Jutsu, but in exchange, obviously, it comes back much faster.
Yeah. Agreed.
You really shouldn't be like stuck locked on to the person when they like sub though. Maybe high
If
speed
it does
movement and
that,
swift step. Well,
it should be 10 seconds.
Maybe 15.
well, with the way it works currently, yeah.
I mean, I think 10 seconds is a bit over the top, because then you would never be unsafe.
True. It's
True, but
basically
you
like
will
having a
always
shark.
take the damage.
I suppose.
Not
So
getting your
now
health
the
back when you
match-
sub.
You just won't be in the same spot at always. You just be always teleporting around. What would be a really good feature for classes like range type or heal type, where they could just always be moving around and make this game feel like an actual ninja game, where we just move at the speed of lightning.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear ninja and Naruto, all I can think is, yes, we are ninjas. We also have nukes that we can throw from our hands.
The ten-tailed husk howling, stealthy as heck.
Legalize tactical nukes.
Legalized nuclear bombs. Swag, Messiah.
I think.
But I was gonna say like subs like switch, high
Swift
speed
step?
movement, and swift step. Those are the ones where you kind of need to stay locked on to the person because
There's
at
nothing
least
there.
yeah, there's like nothing to catch your attention. You're literally just jumping out of their combos.
I am perfectly okay with that because yeah, there's like as you say.
Plus, they
you're
give a speed buff.
Yeah, as you say, there's nothing for you to lock on to, just like moving away. That's why I don't really mind you being able to lock on immediately after that. I just mind how quickly it is to catch you again. But
I think what they should do, though, to compensate for that, is make it so that when you sub, the range is a lot further.
I suppose. I honestly still like the idea of just 2-second iframes, just so that's what or rather half a second, I guess, the way how Xenoverse did with to compensate Z vanishes.
Then yeah, 1 second to half a second should be like enough,
Yeah.
if at all.
Like I said, I do not need it to be overly long. I just need the substitutions in this game to work the way like the lifelines they are meant to work as.
To not get hit through your sub.
Well, not even just get hit through your sub, the straight up to not be punished for even using it.
The amount of times that I've substituted from a dude, and he's still punching my freaking clone, but I'm still somehow getting hit.
The amount of times I've subbed and the guy just immediately just dashes right for me, or the amount of times I've seen someone else sub and I immediately dash towards them and catch them again, and it's just, whoops, sucks for you, guess you die now.
I do this all the time with Obito, the newest Obito.
I was doing this with Minato.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned the one time where my clone got killed by a planetary and I died anyway.
Bruh.
Yeah, yep, it happened to me too. I remember that well.
I remember one time where my Shadow Clone explosion got killed by a Reaper Death Seal, and I got sucked, but not in a good way.
Oh no. Okay, I think this is a good stopping point. We've essentially talked about most of what there is to talk about. So thank you all for watching, or listening actually. If you like this, please, actually, what am I saying? You know what to do. Leave likes, leave comments, subscribe if you haven't already, and you will see us all or hear us all again next Friday. Goodbye.
Sayonara.